Good morning. There was a couple questions from Bible study last time that I thought I'd take a few minutes to answer for you now. Jim emailed these questions to me that you guys, I guess, had from the little lesson we had last week. And the first one was there or were there as many denominations in the Christian church back then, like when we're talking in really the Old Testament times, when the Day of Atonement and the temple were going on, if I'm understanding the question right, and that's what we're asking about. So was there as many denominations as you see in the Christian church now? And the other part of the question, the other question that Jim sent to me was, did the Day of Atonement happen in one place or did it move around to different places? So we'll answer both of those questions here. First, were there as many denominations as there are now? The answer is kind of yes and no. It's not the same as it is right now, that's for sure. The people of Israel were always one people and one religion for the most part, today what we call Jews. Now, there were divisions among them, and we see that at the time of Jesus, where people have some different ideas. We hear about at the time of Jesus people like Pharisees and Sadducees and all these different things. So within their Jewish faith, there were little segments or denominations, to use the word that we use now, if you want to call it that. Now, the difference would be is that they didn't all have different temples and different churches and different synagogues and all that kind of stuff. They would have all gone to the same place because there was only one temple. And that kind of answers the second question. The temple didn't start out as a temple. It started out as something called the tabernacle. And I have a picture here. Hopefully I'll be able to show you. This is just from my Bible that I use, but it's got some images in it. And so let's see if I can get this on the screen there. This is what was the original. This was called the tabernacle. You can see up here at the top, it was really like a tent structure. Now, this is what what God told Moses to instruct the people of Israel to make. And here it was where this is the whole big area with the altar for sacrifices out here. And then the real temple is this part here. And this is a bigger picture of it down here, where this is the area where the priests would go. And then in here is that place called the Holy of Holies, and the Ark of the Covenant is in there. So that's the original one. This was built in the wilderness as a tent structure that the people carried around with them wherever they went. And it lasted, it was used until the days of Solomon. King David became king of Israel, and they were still using the tabernacle. David wanted to build a temple for the Lord, an actual permanent physical building, but God told him no, and said that Solomon could do that. And that's the other picture I have to show you. Is in this Bible as well, a picture or an idea of what Solomon's temple would have looked like. The idea is still the same, right? It doesn't show the big courtyard around here as well, but it's this building where the priests would come in, and then this is the Holy of Holies where the Ark of the Covenant is. Anyways, I don't know how much that helps answer the question, but I think the pictures can be helpful. There was only one temple, and it did get destroyed from time to time, and they had to build new ones. Right now, there is no temple in Jerusalem, and there never will be again. There doesn't need to be one because Jesus is the temple, and Jesus has died and risen from the dead, so we don't need a temple like that. But the Day of Atonement always happened at that temple or at that tabernacle, whatever it was at the time. Wherever people lived, they would have a synagogue, which is where they would go every Saturday for them on the Sabbath to worship together. But they wouldn't do sacrifices there. The sacrifices all happened at the temple. The Old Testament's very clear that it shouldn't be happening in different places. It should be happening in the temple so that they're sure that it's being done properly and not just kind of going all over the place and getting done in ways that aren't in line with what God said they should be doing. So yes, there were different denominations, but they were still united together in one faith and through worship in the temple. And no, the Day of Atonement didn't move around. It happened in the temple or in the tabernacle, depending on what era of history you were in. And that's all there was to it. So hopefully that answers your questions. And I hope you enjoy the video that comes next.